Hi there, this is your friendly neighborhood banker here with a review of Batman number 95. This is the cover A version. I actually like this one better than the cover B, which I don't normally, but this was just the choice in my opinion, and that's why I picked it up from my local comic store. James Tynion IV is the writer, Jorge Jimenez is the artist, and we have Maury on color. And let me tell you, this was really enjoyable. I am so glad this team is on Batman. I'm just so into it, and I'm really excited about where this is going to go in the future. So, for anyone who has not been in the channel before, or have not seen any of my videos, understand this is a spoiler-heavy review like normal, and we're going to show some images of the book, and let's get into it. Okay. So let me jump into what I thought was the $1 page here. This was really cool. We have Punchline here in the profile. Just fantastic artwork. You know, one of the reasons Punchline has really taken the DC world, and I would say comic world, by storm is aesthetic. I would say at least 80% of a character, whether they become popular or not, just has to do with how they look. If Superman was boring to look at, if Batman was, if Spider-Man was, no one would ever remember them. But they were very astonishing at the time and very unique. I think that's one of the reasons the X-Men themselves are extremely popular, because they all have such unique look and feels, and those X-Men who've been introduced, or characters in general who are thrown in, you never remember, is because they just didn't look that interesting. But Punchline looks very, very interesting. She's really cool as far as her appearance goes. So, okay, that was the $1 page. Let's jump to the $5 page. And just so you guys know, in context, I'm not going to go too much of the story, but because I don't want to spoil everything, even though I am going to show you some major pages here. But Alfred is dead. Bruce Wayne is poor. Joker stole all his money. Punchline is the new pseudo Harley Quinn to the Joker. So jump into the $5 section here. Batman goes in and he finds this new suit that neither he nor Lucius Fox created, who is kind of the architect now. They kind of took that inspiration, I think, from the Dark Knight trilogy. And that's what the one cool thing about movies and TV expanding on comic books is that when they do their own thing, sometimes you actually find really great characters. And Lucius Fox is a great character. You know, we never would have had Harley Quinn if the TV series never happened. So sometimes comic people really need to just suck it up and deal with it when people change things and make up new characters never in books, because sometimes those characters are way more popular. Great example. No one would give a darn about General Zod if Superman 2 never existed. That's just my opinion. Okay, so we got this new suit that's being revealed. They're kind of intimating that, you know, Batman has been like this, you know, Dark Knight crime fighter his whole career, and now he's got to level up. He's got to get to the next level. He's got to go Super Saiyan 4 in order to beat these bad guys from now on and enter into a new era of Gotham. So maybe he's going to be the shining knight in armor as opposed to the Dark Knight. I don't know. It's interesting. And if they make this change, if this actually happens, and if they're not just showing this thing, maybe it's permanent, but we know it's not going to be. I like sometimes when they mix it up and things are different for a while. I was one of the few people who actually liked Energy Superman, so I'm sure that says a lot about me. So anyway, Punchline mixes up this crazy toxin, and it's a mix of Joker's like traditional like laughing gas, I guess, with the Scarecrow's fear agent. She's got her own blend and she's beating him. But the reason why I picked this page as my $10 page, because look at this artwork. And it's not just the same static art, it changes style. And that's what's fascinating. If you look at the detail on here and her expression here, and we go down. Like, these are, you would not imagine these are drawn by the same person. And look, maybe they're not, but they're all in my same comic book. So that's really cool. And they're two different styles almost, but and because the perspective changes, and I love the way this bleeds into it as opposed to just doing like traditional comic panels. I like when artists play around with those kinds of layouts, and they're both great. I really into the way he looks there, and wow, just look at the detail on his torso and his leg. It's simple but not at the same time. There's a lot going on. I mean, I can't say much about Punchline's face. Maybe that's a slight cop out, but come on, we got to give it to the artist here. This is tremendous. I love this section at the end of the book. They've stolen his technology, and we have this close up of this kind of bat wing with a Joker smile painted across. I mean, come on. Whoever came up with that concept, if that was Tinian or Jimenez, power to you, man. That is pretty wicked. God, look at that face. That is just terror. That's trauma. That is a Batman with PTSD written all over him. I think that's really awesome. Moving on to my $50 page here. This, I swear, this face, I could not stop looking at it. This panel with Punchline kind of hovering over Lucius, who's been hit by this crazy toxin, and you can see he's got these things sticking out of his head, and his eyes are like completely crazy. That, remove the word bubbles, remove this Wayne Enterprises, that could easily have been the cover of this book. And as much as I like the cover of this book, I don't know. I think you could have picked either one, honestly. She's got him drugged, and oh man, I'm just totally into the artwork. And God, look at that profile right there. That's awesome. I mean, the one thing that's a little odd is she at one point Punchline is like, come on, tell me the name of this place that Batman had picked out, and he says, it's called the Hibernaculum, and she says, where bats breed. That's disgusting. I mean, I understand that's a cool name, but the fact that Punchline just happens to know what the heck a hibernaculum is, I don't know. Did Joker give her like a Batman 101 class, and like, here's all the Batman names and bat puns we can have going on? Like, I don't know. Did she get like a crash course at Adam West Batman names for thing? I don't know. That was a little that's stretching it a little bit to me. But honestly, the best page or pages in this book was these right here. You're going into the beginning, and I'm not going to go into too much of what they're going into here, but boom, you explode onto here, and this is why this is so fascinating. So this is just the two pages together. First of all, this guy, God, that is creepy and intimidating and bizarre all at once, and there's so much going on there. This guy's just drawn so well. But the reason this is such a great page, this is almost like out of a movie, because this is giving you, like, it's almost like you're in the movie and you can see the credits scrolling down the screen as you are watching all this crazy action go on, because this is what this does. There's so much going on here, and this is a $100 page. If I had a $1,000 bill, this would be my $1,000 page. And let me explain why. It smashes into action, and you get these blips from different news organizations giving you an update on what's going on. One thing I cannot stand about DC books, they don't give you a summary of what happened before. So there's no way to pick up a Batman 95 without buying all the issues previously, or just going to Wikipedia or finding a review to find out what the hell the context is you're jumping into. As opposed to Marvel, they do a good job of having summary pages. So if you didn't read the previous, 90 years of a character's history, you kind of have an idea what's going on, right? So I love they have these spokespeople from these news organizations because it's telling you many things. You're telling me it's a public scandal that's going on and it's breaking news in the Gotham world. You're also updating me as a reader. So you're progressing the story, demonstrating what's going on while reminding us of what's going on. Having those two things going on at once is a great strategy, but also you have the writer, the artist, the colors, the cover, the variant, the associate editor. You have all these credits. So in this one splash page, or these 2 pages, you have action, lots of detail going on, creepy dude, while you have the reader being updated as to what is going on with these TV talking heads, while you're progressing the story and telling us this is a public scandal and crisis that's going on, while you're telling me who made the book and what the book is called. You're getting all that stuff in 2 pages. And honestly, this should be the template. This should be the new bar for how you introduce the story of what has happened so far, how to begin moving it forward as the comic progresses, and what a great way to give credits to different people. I love that concept. So, book is definitely a good one to pick up, and I cannot wait to read the next one. So, anyone watching this, please like and subscribe. Have a wonderful day.